Hey y'all, this is Halisi.
And this is Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, retiring abroad as we build generational wealth. All right, sweetheart, what are we going to talk about today?
Today we're going to talk about traveling and the long days of traveling.
Are we there yet?
Yeah, not yet, but we're getting close.
5 tips to make travel days less stressful, right?
Yes.
But first, if you're new to our channel, then you might not know that about 6 years ago, Rick and I looked at our finances as we were getting close to retirement age, and our savings looked crazy and janky, right? But
Janky.
3 years ago, we changed the way we do things financially, and we went from negative 22,000 to over 800,000 in net worth. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and let YouTube know that you like our content by hitting the like.
Yes.
So let's get to it. Go ahead and let's start with number 1, and then we'll start looking at and seeing who's watching and saying hello.
Okay. Well, the first thing, and it's always a good thing to do, is have a checklist.
Yes. So, especially if you want to do slow travel, if you want to do perpetual travel, but even for a vacation, have a checklist that you update every single time you travel of all of the things that you need to handle. Whether it is your transfers from the airport, um, health travel insurance, where you're going to stay, how you're going to get there, what the check-in details, all of that information you want to make sure is on your checklist so that every single time you travel, it will be less stressful. We're going to tell you about our last couple of travel days and why we decided to talk about this because, Lord.
They were adventurous at best.
Yes. But first, let's go ahead and say hello to some of the people. Look, my other computer's offline again.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know what's going on. But so I'm going to have to reach here. So you guys just have to forgive me. And the first one, hey, Venus.
Hi, Venus.
Before we even hit go live, Venus was in the chat, and we love you for that. Thank you, because it's so hard when you think you're talking to no one. So thank you. Auntie Trey's in the house from the ATL.
ATL.
Yes, I've got family there. You know that. And that's right. Venus is from Syracuse. I need to start memorizing this because you guys are so faithful and always in the chat. And yeah, some people may be logging in from Facebook. We're also streaming live on LinkedIn, so hit like there as well. I'm not sure. We changed our settings. So you have to be subscribed in order to participate in the chat for 2 reasons. One, we got a lot of bots and trolls just doing weird stuff. And this is to make sure that we keep our environment and our community as safe as possible.
Yes.
So, hey, Barbara from Connecticut. Ooh, is it hot there? Is it cold? What's going on in the New England area?
I don't think it's cold. It's pretty much hot all over the country.
Is it? Saw you guys in Our Rich Journeys video today. Oh, really? They did a video about the meetups. We got to go look at that.
Yeah, definitely.
Y'all, if you guys don't know, and we do have a video coming out with a few pictures from the meetups because I didn't want to, I don't know, just kind of weird. They're like big time YouTubers.
Yeah.
They're like little stars. So, it's kind of hard to, I don't want to seem exploitive, but I'm going to tell you. We have been following them for a few years, and actually they were key in teaching us what we needed to know to go from negative 22,000 to over 800,000. So
Yes.
We are on the financial independence journey, FIRE, FI. If you don't know what that is, FIRE stands for financial independence, retire early. And I suppose if 3 years ago you weren't ready for retirement and 3 years later you are, I guess that's retiring early. But age-wise, Not so
Yeah.
much, not so much. But yeah, Christina and Aman of Our Rich Journey are amazing.
They are truly
They're
amazing.
they're they're true blue folks, and I'm gonna try to get this other one back on. And if you're not following them, you should.
Yes, definitely. You are missing out if you're not
Yeah,
following
so
them.
there, like, if you want information about Portugal, or if you want information about investing and and how to get your money straight, you know. Hello from Maryland. Hey,
Hey,
Chandra.
Chandra.
Saw you guys featured prominently on Our Rich Journeys mini documentary. So proud of what you two have. Oh my gosh, we've got to see
Yeah,
this.
we have to look at
We
that.
were dealing with all of these travel things this morning, and then getting ready for y'all, so we have not been online to see anything.
Yeah.
But after this, we usually, after our lives, we still continue to work, but we were so stressed out this morning that we're not going to continue to work today. We're going to take it
We're
easy
going
for
to
the
take it easy.
for the rest of the day, right? We are going to take it easy. So let's see where we are. I see one of my moms is in the house. And hey, Nika. Hey,
Hey, Nika and
Tracy.
Tracy.
Wait a minute. You guys are in Tennessee today? Yeah, you guys are traveling. All right.
Clarksville.
Yeah, Nubia Net's in the house. And yay, she's watching from Facebook. Hey, mom. Love you, love you, love you, love you. And Venus, we love you too. We do. I mean, it's funny because I think humans kind of have a propensity to like focus on the negative and everything like this. I'm getting teary. You guys are so great. And there's like 0.01% of the folks who just like give us a lot of grief. They give us a lot of grief about the name of our channel, our
Yeah.
Black Utopia.
Yeah.
Why do we need to talk about being Black in different places? And y'all know why. Y'all know why. I don't have to explain it to you, right? And I let those things get to me more than I should.
She does.
And he gets on me about that. He's like,
Yeah.
look, we are doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
What you don't trip off of those folks who are in the basement streaming from LinkedIn. Oh, yay.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
we are. And the thing about LinkedIn that I like more than Facebook is that it really does let your network know, that you're going live. So, St. Croix.
Wow.
Ooh, oh my gosh, we love it's so beautiful. We Let's see, we were there in
18? No, we were in Europe in 2018.
2017.
20, yeah.
2017, right around the hurricane, after the hurricane. Oh, but it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're Portuguese. Oh my gosh. We gotta see this. We did get our diff numbers. You guys know that. We got our bank accounts. We have our appointment with VFS in the August 5th, on August 5th.
Yeah, we do have our appointment.
And we figured out how to get our FBI background checker done from here. So we're rocking and rolling. We're rocking and rolling. So we've got to see this Our Rich Journey video, and they gave us a shout out when we were there in person,
Mhm.
and I know that helped us get to 1,000 subscribers and get monetized and everything like that. Greta, you're gonna be out here with us. You are going to be out here with us. You are on the Stephanie Perry, Adelia Borchade, Sheeta D train. You will be out here with us. Let us know how we can help, right?
Yes.
Because the CDMX crew, I'm gonna tell you, right? The CDMX crew they are just as special to us as Our Rich Journey, and all of them were instrumental in helping us get to where we are. So let's keep it going with ways to make your travel days better. If you want to travel, if you're a perpetual traveler, one thing that you have to know is that travel days will take it out of you. And if you're trying to do too much in too short of a time, and you think you're going to do like a tour as soon as you get there and stuff like that, babies, don't do that to yourself.
God
Just
bless
don't.
you if you do.
Right? Just plan around it,
Yeah.
because inevitably things do not go as you see planned. They just don't. Uh-oh, I might get some feedback. Okay, it didn't. Good. They just don't. So the second thing on our list. So the first thing is have a
Have a
checklist.
checklist,
I'm gonna
definitely.
get my notes and I'm gonna bring them right in front of me.
Yeah, because the other one's not acting
Yeah.
correct.
Use apps like TripIt. So if you guys don't have TripIt, download it right now onto your phone. TRIPIT, TripIt.
Yes.
And so all you have to do is once you get your confirmation in the email, you can email that to TripIt and then it creates an itinerary for you. So you can see everything. So, like for our Portugal trip, it had our flight from Denver to New York, then where we were
Yes.
staying by the airport in New York. And then, and then it even tells you like when you should be checking out and stuff like that. So it had our travel from New York to France, France to Portugal with all the correct numbers and our seats and all of
Yes.
that stuff. The train trip that we took to Coimbra, everything was in there.
Everything.
Everything was in
Everything.
there.
And it was great because we never really used it before. I mean, not intensely. And my best bud, if he's watching
Hey,
out there,
Ron.
Troop, he's the one. Every time he takes a trip, he includes me on his itinerary and stuff like that. And he's always, did you get my itinerary? Because he wants me to know where he is and what's going on,
Just in
and
case,
just in case.
right?
So yeah, I don't know if I had him on trip, but I thought we should add him, but I always
Yeah.
FaceTiming stuff, so
So
I don't
you,
even know where I am.
they have wine talk
Yeah. Oh, we got
on
to have our drink talk.
FaceTime. All
Yeah.
right. But we did send it to one of our kids, and I think we did send it to Ron. So you can put in there who you would want to share your
Mhm.
itinerary with for safety reasons or just because. All of that stuff is important. Have the directions to the accommodations in advance,
Yes.
especially if you're going to take rideshare.
Yes.
Sometimes, whatever map they're using is not absolutely correct. And unlike in the States, if you're traveling abroad, the addresses are a little bit different. And I don't think some of the ride shares like Uber get it. Like when we were in Portugal, both seem to know the exact location better than Uber,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And then if it's a condo, once you get into the complex, how do you get from the entrance of the complex to the actual building?
Yes.
If it's a big complex, we drove
We
around
drove
and we
around.
had all this crap, right? And I know like time is money. And he wants to find the place so he can get all that crap out of his car.
And I actually got out of the car looking for the proper building to go into, and we found it. And he, got back in the car and rode just around the corner to where it was. But yeah, know the exact address and stuff that you need to go to.
Yeah, know the check-in procedures in advance, right? So if you're doing Airbnb, if you're budget travelers like we are, trying to make sure that you are saving money at every cost, then what are the check-in procedures? You don't want to get there and be trying to figure out, oh, they're not going to check me in after 9 p.m. or something like that.
Yes.
So know the check-in procedures in advance. Here is one that I actually got from Driven Spice and Sheeta D,
Yes.
or Sheeta's on the Loose. Have heavy snacks or food, especially if you're going to arrive late and you might anticipate everything being closed. If you're traveling on a Sunday to a lot of countries, everything's closed.
And you can get the packs with the beans in them, or
Yeah,
uh, rice,
yeah,
different things like that. Because sometimes you might end up getting somewhere and there's nothing open. You're not familiar with it. You want to kind of get to where you are in your room, if it's Airbnb or whatever. And hotel kitchen might be closed if you're at a hotel. So you might not have those services available to
yeah.
you. So it's just nice to have that snackage, we call snackage, that you can have something to eat. So, you're not going to bed hungry, and
Yep.
definitely have water.
Yes, yes,
Definitely.
yes. We actually from Costco bought like the pre-made rice. I think it's rice and couscous or something like that. and you can microwave it in 90 seconds. And then the
Yeah.
lentils are really good. So we put the lentils over the rice, and
Oh
we
yeah.
have used it. We have used it. We've got one more stash that we'll eat up before we go back to the States to do our VFS. But yeah, that is invaluable. And I'm going to tell you, you get hangry, and especially if you're traveling with somebody, and then you want to pop off because you're hungry, you're tired. Bring your snacks. And then lastly, under have a checklist, don't beat yourself up.
Don't. I
Take things in
mean,
stride.
yeah, there's enough forces, if you will, out there that are going to come at you
Yep.
in all different directions and stuff like that. Did I forget this? Did I do this? Did I do this? Or the airlines, well, when we were in Portugal and we looked to make sure that everything was being packed and everything, the weights and everything of the luggage was correctly, and then get to the airport. And the lady said, well, no, you're overweight on blah, blah, blah.
We'll get to that. That's on our list
Yeah,
too.
that's on the list. So you just don't beat yourself up because you'll have enough things out there that
Yeah.
will beat you up
Yeah,
all by
definitely.
themselves.
And it's supposed to be a joyous time, right? It's supposed to be a joyous time. It was clearly God's will for you guys to be there in Portugal. Yes, I pray it's my path as well.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yes, 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 yes. Representation matters. Unless you're from the States, I don't think you get it. Maybe those who are from Canada, but folks who are from the African diaspora, whether it is recent or whether it was 300 years ago, 500 years ago, 700 years ago, wherever we are on the planet, and I was about to say outside of the continent, but I'd say even in some places on the continent too, we get it. We get what it feels like to walk around the planet in this skin. And we'll tell you what something that happened here in Mexico too.
Yeah.
We gonna get to some stuff today. Auntie Trey, too many people in my job retire at 65, 67, and then die within a year. I'm not going out that way. Retire with reserves and health. That right there.
Yes.
Right there, Nubinette. I am so yes, 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 yes. And that's what we were thinking of. You know, I remember saying to Rick, okay, well, in 2025, after I do X, Y, and Z, and he was like, mm-mm, we cannot wait that long to retire. We cannot wait that long to try and get our Portuguese residency. First of all, they keep making it harder every year. So for those of you who've got it in the future, if you can qualify now and find a way to continue to work while you're there remotely, I really, really, really would suggest that you do that,
Yes.
because they're making it harder. They really are. Like right now, we're dealing with getting this lease and stuff like that. So already have it downloaded. As a matter of fact, I think I just saw somebody say they had it for 10 years. Can you repeat the app? Yeah, so it's Tripit,
Trip it.
Tripit. Nubia Net put it in her chat. She's had it for over 10 years. Oh, it gets better and better. Yep, sends her itinerary to her siblings because, stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff happens. And so when I pulled my SS earnings, I said that enough for me. I'm ready to get it going now. That's right. Um, Especially, look at the qualification for any country that you are thinking about retiring in. Usually, you have to be bringing in their minimum wage. It's not that, I mean, I don't want to say because the minimum wage in the United States is ridiculously low. The federal minimum wage, right, is still at $7.85. That's just a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a little bit more than the Portuguese minimum wage. I love TripIt, using it for a few years, and the ability to share your itinerary is a plus, right? So, yeah, 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 yeah. Clarksville, Tennessee, our first in person. It's recorded. Details later. You guys doing okay? We love you, Tracy and Nika. Yes. We're doing okay. She knows what happened because I was like blasting it on see, losing thing. I was blasting it on Facebook and everything else. Phyllis, hey, we've been chatting via chat and everything, comments actually. So I'm glad you were able to join us live. Hey, as a matter of fact, I think I just emailed you yesterday evening. As I said, we try to answer every single comment personally. You know, this here's the staff right here. Hi, Halisi and Rick. It was nice to meet you on our Rich Journey video today. Hey, BJM. Well, you know, we haven't seen it yet, but we are just humbled because I mean, okay, so I was a big fan and he was a sycophant with Christina and Aman. We call them our kids because they're young enough to be our kids.
Yeah.
And they have been in our home for 2.5 years now, coaching us. We've taken a lot of their classes. And so I don't know. I'm again getting a little teary here because it's kind of like a full loop. I still keep copies of my TripIt and maps of the hotels that I'll be staying. I don't count on power in the internet.
Hmm.
Now that wasn't on our list. We're gonna crowdsource this today, y'all. So any suggestions that you have, number 2 is we're going to talk about airports. Number 3, we're going to talk about travel arrangements. Number 4, we're going to talk about luggage. And then the last one, we're going to talk about time management. So stick around. You know our lives go a little long, but we're going to try to keep it to an hour 10 today. Next week, we've got folks coming from Querétaro. We have folks coming from Sevilla, Spain. We've got another couple that we're going to be interviewing from Portugal. And then we'll let you know what the process was for our Mexican residency because tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day that we go get our green cards. I saw that video from Driven Spice and it was so resourceful. And that heating bowl she had was great, right? Now, so it was like, looked like a soft lunch pail, but you could plug it in and it would heat stuff for you.
Okay.
I don't know where she got that, and I forgot all about that, Auntie Trey. So I have got to look for that once we learn how to travel with less stuff.
Yeah.
That right there, Nubianet. You guys know our story that about a year and a half ago, when I realized that my dad needed 24-hour care, I tried to find him help. Anyone who needs long-term care is going to be costing somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
And if you get on Medicaid, whatever your state's version of that is, they want you in poverty with absolutely no resources before they will give you a dime. And we're not about that life.
No.
There's your cousin.
That's my nephew. That's Daniel.
Okay, Dan. Daniel, we saw you in the chat even when we were in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey. Hey.
Daniel's in Vegas.
Okay. So we're on Central Time now. I'm working on paying off my debt. I'm also contributing to my 401k and Roth IRA. I know I can do a lot more once the debt is gone. The debt is key. The debt is key. And I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. Those stimulus checks, that's what we did. We paid off debt. So thank you, Trump. We paid, and Biden, we paid off debt with that. So that was like the last bit of debt that we had. And instead of buying the big screen or putting it down on our twin Teslas, we went ahead and paid off that debt. And once we did that, and I'm going to tell you guys, I'm just going to say this is a little off topic, but student loans, because the bill came through today. You do not need to pay off your public student loans before you start this journey. So I still, from grad school, I was an untraditional student, didn't go until I was 38, 39 years old. I'm 57 now. Y'all know that. So I'm still paying on those student loans, still paying on them. And so when I put in our new income and went on that income-based replacement or repayment plan, they said I would have to pay for the next 15 years $0. So the bill came through today. I owe zero. Rui, hey, from
Hey,
Portugal.
Rui.
Good to see you in the chat. Good to see you. We're not there. We're in Mexico, getting some stuff done here, but we cannot wait to get back to Portugal. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, we miss it. We really miss it. And at the end, we'll tell you guys like some things that have happened in Mexico that make us feel a little and why we prefer Portugal. Amazon, I watched Driven Spice and oh, that's where you get it. Okay. Well, when we
Okay.
go back to pack up our crap, um, we'll have to get that because we're going to be traveling, y'all. We are going to be traveling. So, all right, we have caught up. So let's go on to number 2, airports. Research the wait time and ask a local.
Ask a local person.
So what happened to us in Lisbon?
And so when we were in Lisbon and we were looking at getting ready to leave the next day, we were spending the night in the Airbnb and talking to the owner of the Airbnb. She was saying, you might want to get to the airport at a certain time because we had a later flight instead of an early flight to get out. She said, you want to be there at least 3 hours in advance. And we were like, 3 hours? Well, why do we have to be there that early? She said, because lately that has been the trend and you definitely want to be there. And thank God we listened to what she said and went real early, 3 hours earlier that morning because, oh my
Gosh, we didn't just make our flight, but by the time we got to the gate, 20 minutes, maybe.
Well, we had to go through that long
Exactly.
line of.
So every airport works differently, every country works differently. And so it was like if you entered straight into Portugal and have a United States passport, get in this line. But if you entered from some other EU country and have an American passport, get in that line. And it's all in Portuguese. And the man was like, US, yes, that line, but we were in the wrong line. So then we had to go get in another line. And then once we got through there, then there was another line. And then there was another line. And I mean, like I'd never seen so many checkpoints and lines and this and that and the other. And it was confusing.
For those that have been to Disneyland, before they had the express lane that you could go to if you pay a couple extra dollars or whatever, it was like figure out the best ride in Disneyland and having to wait in the line to get there.
Yeah.
And going up and down through the little mazes. You know how you go through the mazes to get to where you have to get to the desk. Oh, it was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It was crazy. And they did have all of the things open. It's not like they only had 2 people there. It's just there were just that many people. And I don't think that the Lisbon airport has caught up yet with its traffic flow. I mean, because this has been going on, and they have been encouraging folks to visit and to move there, and yet, so know that most other the gate number. If you have never traveled internationally, okay, so we haven't traveled everywhere, but we've been on a few different continents and a bunch of different cities, and only in the United States so far have we found out that when you get your boarding pass, it has the gate number on it.
Yeah.
Only in the United States so far, you get your boarding pass and you get the gate number. So that means you arrive at the airport, you get your boarding pass, maybe you checked in online, however it goes, you go through security, you have no idea where to go.
No.
And the thing about it is if you go down this way, then of course, once they announce it, you're supposed to go that way. And you know how big airports are. I mean, sometimes it is at the last minute, and sometimes they will change the gate number on you and not announce it. And they will not announce it. So if you know that you're supposed to be boarding 30 minutes in advance, and it's 35, 40 minutes in advance, and you're at the gate or in the sala, that area, and you don't see anybody, start asking questions. Start asking questions. Because, I mean, whether it was like that in London, it was like that in Spain, it was like that in Italy. I mean, it's just been like that. It's in Mexico, the same thing. Everywhere we have gone, um, this is just, they don't do it that way. And it would drive me personally crazy to work at an airport and have to deal with that. I mean, we're only dealing with the one flight at a time, so that's all we have to. But you're last minuting, putting, figuring out where airplanes are going to go. Really? That just can't be efficient. But that's how they do things. So if you know that, then you always have to pay attention. The first time that we traveled internationally, well, no. When we went to Europe, because it was probably, we took an American airline to get to South Africa, and then South African airport, or the Cape Town airport was small enough. I don't remember having to worry about that.
No.
But in Europe, yeah, just know, just know. Understand the security checks work differently in every country. Yeah, we had to go through 3 different ones in Portugal and keep pulling out our passport. So if you're like me and you like to hide it and tuck it away,
you're going to be using it.
No, yep, exactly. So airports, do you guys have anything to add to that? It looks like, oh my gosh, it looks like Portugal is very, very hot right now. I see Rui says Portugal is burning right now. What temperature is it? And then somebody out there's going to have to translate that Celsius to Fahrenheit, because America. That's right. See, and this is why I love you guys, because you encourage each other. You encourage each other, and I just love it. Hi, y'all. Explain again how you can pay $0 on a student loan. Yes, I will. So once we retired, obviously our income went from the 2 jobs we had, which neither one of us were making 6 figures. The 2 jobs we had, down to just his Social Security. So right now we are just living off of his Social Security and trying not to touch the 2 years worth of savings or the money that we have put aside for Portugal. So, so our income is his Social Security. When they look at 2 people living off of that, they do the income-based repayment plan. The income-based repayment plan, it has to be a public student loan. I don't think the private student loans care. They want their money.
Yeah, because they don't look at investments or anything like that.
No, they don't look at your investment portfolio or anything like that to decide, well, why don't you take some money? No, they only look at income. And so based upon our income, they decided that the amount that we can comfortably pay is 0. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing. What are you clicking that for? So California is burning too. We're gonna be back there in a second. Yeah, we've got to go to San Francisco for our VFS appointment, and then probably go down to LA to see about my parents. So I'm not looking forward to wildfires. Oh no! Oh no! All right, y'all. We got to start praying. That's not good. That's not good. It's very dry and getting drier. Yeah, and we're from Denver, and Denver gets bad wildfires as well. Even though y'all think it's really cold there, in the summertime in Denver, it can get up to 3 digits, 100 degrees.
Well, I was looking, and the city of Denver was actually on their website today, were saying they had cooling stations around the city because of 100 plus degree temperatures.
Yeah. Hot logic. Oh, you're probably talking about the bag. A major, is that a major fire or heat wave? DiCaprio made a documentary about it. 67 people. Normally, Rui says July is the worst and October is fine. We will be back late October. We are in negotiation right now with a landlord about an apartment. We're so happy. We're happy about that. We're going to talk about what made us unhappy this morning later on, and these airlines and stuff. Global warming has made drier places, right? It's just crazy out of control.
Yeah, it is.
Crazy out of control. All right, let me see where I was at. And all this in Portugal. So yeah, if you're talking about all that we went through at the airport, that was all in Portugal. Or if you're talking about the wildfires, I'll let you guys continue that conversation. The world wasn't ready for the volume of travel. I know, I know. And then the other thing is a lot of canceled flights. So plan accordingly. We have
Yes.
not had any of our flights canceled, thank God. But you know, having having enough extra money so that if things happen like that, it doesn't stress you too far out or get you stuck,
Right.
or have that credit card that you can then pay off at the end of the month. And yes, and then when you're traveling with your fur baby. So one of the reasons why because really what we wanted to do is we wanted to, when we went to to Portugal in June, we wanted that to be it. We here. But our immigration lady told us if you're bringing your dog and he cannot sit with you in cabin, it's going to be too hot in June. So you want to do it in early
Early
spring
spring
or
or
fall
fall. Yeah.
before it gets too hot or too cold. And so that's something to think about, Auntie Trey, that we had not thought about. So there we go, 43 degrees Celsius. I know it around 30, 33 is. So that sounds like he's going to look it up. That sounds like the high 90s. All right, let me see where we're at. Professor LCH has made it. Hey there. Haven't seen you in a little bit. That's okay that you're late. We've gotten from number one was have a checklist. Number two, what to look for at the airports. And then number three is going to be travel arrangements and 78 degrees in Lisbon. That's not too
No.
bad. That's not too bad. Nubinet says, Rui, that's over 110 degrees. Because it was in the high 70s when we were there, and then the cool 70s on some days. But interestingly, it felt hotter. Like in the shade, it was jacket time. But soon as we were out in the sun, I was shedding. I was shedding down to like a tank top. So Um, so yeah, okay, we've got wildfires and stuff like that talking about yes, 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 yes. All right, so we are going to move on to travel arrangements. With layovers and plane changes, don't assume that just because the airlines suggested a particular route or itinerary, that route or itinerary will work in real life.
Yeah.
For instance,
So we ended up showing up at the airport early. We went early. Got
very early.
Yeah, got to the airport and went to check in our bags and stuff. And the lady looked at our tickets and says, you're not going to have enough time to catch your connecting flight in Mexico City to Puerto Vallarta." It's like, and Halisi said, "Well, wait a minute. When I made the arrangements, I didn't buy the tickets separately. I bought them together, which was suggested. Buy this, and then you have your ticket to Puerto Vallarta from Mexico, your transfer." Well, the lady explained to us, you need at least an hour plus for a transfer to be able to transfer from one plane to the other for various reasons.
Yeah, because they don't know what gate it's going to land in.
Number one.
Right? So you might be over here and have to go way over there.
So she did what she had to do, and we ended up catching an earlier flight out
And
of
we arrived
Cancun.
so early that we could make that flight that left an hour and a half before our scheduled flight.
Right.
So when we say arrive early, because
Arrive
here's
early.
another reason.
I personally, I rather sit in the airport for a couple hours because I've decided to come early instead of rushing to get somewhere, number one, or getting there on time and figuring out you're going to have other kind of issues, before you board
Stress.
your plane. So less
Stress.
stress. Why not be there for an hour or two extra? Take your laptop, take your, you know,
Your
entertain
phone.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when I was a kid, Janice, if you're still watching, I took my first ski trip, and my dad loves to get to places late. So we get there. If you're supposed to be there 20 minutes before boarding, we were probably there 35, 40 minutes. So he puts we check my bag because it's ski stuff and my skis. And now we're running LAX, running because, down some way, I don't know, to get to the plane. So I make the flight, but my luggage does not. So I'm on a 1 week ski trip and I'm a kid, no credit card, $100, no ski clothes or anything. This was before cell phones. That's what happens when you arrive late. Joe Vincent, bad, bad habits. And I remembered that from when I was 16 years old. I'm like, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to be, lugging stuff and running down the tarmac. That's just crazy.
No.
That's just crazy.
And then, especially if you're traveling overseas or something like that, and you don't know the airports and you don't know the procedures, and different things happen. Oh my God, you get left, you're stuck
Yep.
unless you have things to get you out of it, credit cards and everything like that. So,
Yeah. I'm looking at my notes, folks. So that's why I keep looking down.
so definitely, yeah.
The other thing, rideshare. If you are a budget traveler like we are, I don't like getting in a taxi and not knowing what the price is going to be. I don't like it. And depending upon where you are, they might not have meters. They might only take cash and only the local cash and all of that, right? So figure out how you're going to get from the airport to your accommodations in advance. And do not assume that just because Uber says they can come to the airport, that's the facts. For instance,
You want me to take it?
go ahead. Tell them what happened when we got here to PV.
So we are wondering, we can take Uber. It says, we can take Uber. Well, Uber in Mexico are not allowed on airport property.
At least in Cancun and Puerto Vallarta, they're not.
They're not allowed on airport property. So, in order to get the Uber, you have to leave the airport. Landing in Puerto Vallarta, there is a highway
Right.
that crosses between the airport and the local, I'll just say local side. So, there is an overpass that you can walk. You have to go up a hill, turn, and then go down the hill, and you got luggage and stuff, so you can catch this Uber. Because of course, when you land in Cancun and Puerto Vallarta, you got the gauntlet of taxi drivers. Everybody's trying to get you to get in a taxi.
Well, what's the first gauntlet? Timeshare.
Timeshare. Oh my God.
I'll give you $200 cash right now. If you go, we ain't looking at no
It's like,
property.
I'm not getting in nobody's car to go look at somebody's property to be no.
No.
It's like, dude, no, dude,
No.
no.
So, and I think that we haven't run into that anywhere but Mexico as far as the gauntlet goes, right? So he's being nice. The hill to get to the other side of the highway to catch our Uber, and bless his heart, he waited for us and coached us through. Because I'm like, what bridge? He's got 2 suitcases. I've got the big one, plus my bag and our backpacks. Everything's overweight. And it's a hill this way and then a hill that way. So if you're in a wheelchair, I'm not sure how you do that. I'm not sure. And it was steep.
Yeah.
By the time it was so steep that when I was coming down, he didn't see me, but there was 2 gentlemen at the bottom who came up to help me because I could not stop the big luggage from rolling down.
The 2 taxi cab
Right.
drivers that
Tried
wanted you to.
then wanted us to ride in their taxi, right? It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
But they did help her. They went there.
They did help, and they were very gentlemanly. So we appreciate that. But yeah, do not assume that you're rideshare, because usually, like Lyft will say, we can't service that area. We cannot come to the terminal. Uber doesn't say that. So I got played. We did save probably 2/3 of what we would have paid. So it was a third of what we would have paid, I should say. But we were a sweaty mess
Oh
by the
my.
time, and it had rained, and there were puddles, and then his car wasn't big enough, and. So have your transfer to your accommodations done in advance. Let me look at the at the comments and see where we are, because I see some folks in the comments that I have not
What is that?
seen.
Butterfly?
That is Butterfly.
Butterfly. How you doing? When you,
You were supposed to be in Spain.
baby girl?
What's going on?
We need to talk.
What is going on? Right? And yes, see, Janice does remember. She remembers me, and missing all my luggage. And then I'm there and I have no ski clothes. And he's trying to call in a credit card to the ski slope. And it was a mess. And see, I had all my matchy stuff too. I went to Beverly Hills High, but I was bussed. So I'm there with all these rich kids with all their cool stuff, and I got braces, and you know the teenage thing. You just don't want to. Come on, it was not fun. Globetrotting as an adventure, laugh aloud. Your positive attitude makes it bearable, honey. You should have seen us an hour ago. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
But you get through it.
Yes, I cheat with my temperature conversion. I just checked the weather in Sacramento and converted. Oh, okay, that's funny. I know. Thank you. Thank you, Butterfly. I miss my dad too. I actually do. And I'm not able to FaceTime with him. And I'm not happy about that. The Rich Action Show. I remember when you subscribed about a month ago. So thank you for watching. Been in Portugal for a week. I know y'all not here, but just saying hi from Lisbon. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
So let us know. Are you just visiting? Are you scouting? So when we get back, can we meet you in real life? That would be cool to know. We ask EU for help. There's Spanish planes here to help. We are used to it. We will survive. Oh, good. Good. I think he's talking about putting out the wildfires. So, because Portugal is such a beautiful country.
It is truly beautiful.
I mean, really. So Daniel's like, so be there 6 hours early.
Hey, if it help.
If that will make you really, because the whole thing about traveling, unless you're doing it for business, right? It's for pleasure. And if you start off your trip stressed the out, it's just not a good look.
Like flying from New York to France, when the guy leaned back in the chair and you was getting ready to take him out. She was getting ready to take this dude out on the plane. Was it Air France?
It's like they look at my smile and they go, "Oh, that's a nice woman. I am from South Central LA, folks."
I had to switch seats with her. It's like, no, you sit over here. Let me go.
South Central was about to be live and popping up in the house.
Catching a case on an Air France plane. That would have been interesting.
I mean, literally, he was in my lap and I was trying to eat. So if I just went just like this so that I wasn't spilling on my lap, my head would bump his seat. I mean, I never put my seat all the way back in the airplane because I think it's rude. Yeah. I just think it's rude. I put it back just enough so that my back doesn't hurt, so that I'm not being an a-hole. It's super tricky in China. They test you and will upcharge if you don't know better. So y'all know that I don't speak Spanish, that I've been taking Spanish for 2.5 years. My tutor, Laura, hey Laura, I know you watch the replay sometimes, is excellent. She just sent me a video about racism in China. It'll make you cry. It's in Spanish, so I had to translate. But basically, there were these guys making our babies say stuff like, "We're black devils, we are intellectually inferior" in Chinese. So they didn't know what they were saying, and all of this stuff, and it's going viral in China. And then he had the nerve to say, "I didn't mean any harm." So I don't have a love relationship with China, and if I never go there, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
From what I've heard. So yes, so we did know. I did notice in. I can't remember where I was. Oh, we were in Coimbra. In Coimbra, the fire department that we saw right next to the train station was volunteer.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's the norm. I didn't know if that was the norm or what. But yeah, gosh. So thank you, thank you, thank you,
Portugal is
thank
definitely
you.
in our prayers.
Yes, yes. Okay, you do have professionals as well. Great. So, okay, somebody was just saying that, where is that? Some US cities do not allow Uber at the airports either. Yeah. Um,
Huh.
and I can't remember where, but LAX, you can take an Uber. You can because we were just there. Houston, maybe? Maybe. I have been to a couple of airports that do not, in the US, that do not allow Uber. So, yeah. Um, and I'm just, if you can go to the counter and pay in advance for the taxi, you can do that in some places. In it seems like Lisbon was like that, and then some other place that we were at was like that. That's that's good.
Yeah, and then different places you go, like here in Mexico, you know, you'll see taxi cab drivers with the actual authorized taxi cab because you want to be careful. You just don't want to take any taxi. You want to be
Yes,
very, very careful of that because you just for safety's sake. Number one, number two, you don't want to take the scenic route and end up paying. So you want to make sure that you agree on the amount of money
in
that
advance.
is in advance.
And I'm so bad. I always have my app up, my mapping app to see how they're going, even when I'm in rideshare.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. Oh, wrong turn. Wrong turn. So Antonio from Centra, I cannot wait to go back to Centra and get there on time, not getting lost on the wrong doggone trains. We got the apps now. It is, if y'all, if you are going to Portugal and if you can visit Centra,
Oh my God, it's
it's
beautiful.
it is like a cross between a bosque, a forest, and medieval castles. And it is just so beautiful. It is so. Put your walking shoes on because it's hilly. Put your walk. They have the tut-tuts and all of that stuff that you can take if you don't want to do the hills. But oh my gosh, it is so pretty there. And we were actually looking. So the train stop just before you get to the last train stop in Centra. I don't know what that neighborhood is, Antonio, but we were looking and taking pictures and saying, could we live here? So let us know if it's not called Centra, and maybe that's Old Town Centra and that's Centra proper, that we were looking at. If it's not called Centra, let us know in the chat because it was beautiful.
Yes.
Tina from the ATL. We've got somebody else from the ATL in the house. Good, 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 good. Right? We love Centra. Thank you, Nana. I don't know if you're talking to us, but thank you. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. Um, Halisi and Rick, you're both an inspiration. I need to leave the Poconos after 26 years. The Poconos, that used to be on my list. It used to be on my list. And as soon as America gets off punishment, maybe it will return to my list. But right now, America's on punishment. They put them in the corner, time out. I'm not sure what's going on with our home country, but we are not looking forward. Oh, okay. They're talking to each other. We are not looking forward to going back. We're really not. We're really not. All right, Kiki. Hi, love your content. You all feel like family. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you do one-on-one consultations for singles also or only couples? Yes, we do. I would like to bounce my moving plans off people with experience. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, let me just put that information up. So the first thing, we have a waiting list right now. So Beyond the Bling group coaching for couples and for single folks, we have a 1 week challenge that we do,
Mhm.
and we'll have the next one coming up in fall. So you can get that information there, and I should probably put that in the chat as well. Let me see if I can do that. Can you move this? Let's see. Stephanie does this so seamlessly, and I don't seem to be able to do that. But let's see. Yay, I did it.
All right.
One down.
Congrats.
Okay. And then it's just our blackutopia.com/let's talk, where you can find all the information on our one-on-ones as well. So one-on-ones are our Black Utopia Let's Talk, and group coaching was that link that we just put in the chat. So thank you for asking. Definitely
Join us.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Tracy and Nika, who are in the chat right now, they just finished with one of our classes and gave us, a glowing review, which we love you guys. Not South Central. Yeah, baby. Technically not South Central, but according to the news, anywhere where we live in LA was South Central. So I grew up in Baldwin Hills, just above the jungle. So if you guys know LA, you know where the jungle is, you know what time it is, right? In California, the forest fires were seasonally employed. Oh, okay. So they are having conversations about that.
Mm-hmm.
We're just saying. We talk about travel and we keep it real. There's a reason why we have to talk about what our experiences are walking around in this skin. We cannot travel the planet and not think about it. We used to say we can't travel the United States. We cannot travel the planet and not think about it. And I know some folks have had some wonderful experiences in China, but too many people have not. And what I have been told is in some places we're treated like zoo animals. I'm just not down with that. I'm not down with that. So Stacy, hey, from the ATL. So we got 3 folks that I know of right now. Oh, I didn't know that.
When we went to Atlanta, how did we get around?
I don't remember. A car. I don't know. See, the last time we went to Atlanta, I traveled with business.
Right.
So that, I was on a business trip and then they met me there. And I don't know how you guys got, because I didn't come pick you up.
We didn't rent a car.
We did rent a car.
We rented a car in Atlanta.
But I don't remember.
You sure you didn't pick us up?
I might have.
Any other way of getting you.
Daniel's asking you an important question here.
Bon dia, or boa tarde, or buenas tarde, or buenos dias. That's it. Good morning.
You remember how to say thank you?
No.
Obrigada.
Obrigada. No obrigado for men.
And Rui is probably just like cringing now.
I'm sorry.
He's probably cringing.
I'm sorry.
We have.
Obrigado.
We've been watching our YouTube videos. We have, and I'm downloading the pronunciation chart so I can at least start studying that. So boa tarde. I'm pretty good at imitating. And so the corner store that we went into, every time we came in, she'd say, boa tarde. So I would just repeat with the same inflection and everything that she said. And I never had to say goodnight, because do you ever go to sleep in Portugal? I don't know. We never got to sleep. It was just like party, party, party. Oh, that's good to know. So you can view them now. Yeah. LAX does allow for Uber.
Okay.
It is a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. When you go to Sintra and have time, visit the Queluz National Palace. It's probably Queluz.
Oh, okay.
And its gardens. Okay.
We will definitely put that on our list.
Yes. That was for you, Age. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sintra is awesome. It is awesome. So let's see what, okay, that right there. Let's talk about luggage. Let's talk about luggage and what happened to ours.
First thing that you should do if you haven't done yet is buy a little scale. A little scale you can just attach your luggage and weigh it because you want to weigh your luggage.
Yes.
And you want the type of scale that has different things. It has kilograms, it has pounds, it even has Fahrenheit and Celsius.
Oh, did it?
Oh yeah, ours is jamming. It does everything but talk to you. Talk to you.
And it was only like what, 12, 15 bucks?
But we got little dude back there to talk to us, so he
Yeah.
keeps it coming.
So the other thing is read the fine print. Read the
Yes.
fine print. So we show up in Lisbon with our overweight luggage because Halisi did not read the fine print. I was like, oh my gosh, we get 70 pounds.
Oh yeah, we were on.
I was like, yeah, because international flight, that makes sense. Okay, good. Thank you, TAP Airlines. Oh no. 70 pounds if you're flying first class. Otherwise, you little poor peons flying in regular class, y'all get 50 pounds. Yeah. Yeah. And so we were that couple rearranging stuff. Was that from TAP to Cancun?
Yeah.
Okay. Rearranging stuff in the airport, looking like idiots with all our crap out on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, because they just don't let you go.
No.
You
no.
got to correct it.
Or
you,
pay.
And you ain't got a lot of room to correct it.
No. And pay. And it's a lot. It's
Yeah,
a lot.
It's not cheap.
So so buy a luggage scale. If you're on team carry-on, know that some foreign airlines version of a carry-on is not our version of a carry-on. So Americans, we just have too much stuff. We have too much stuff. Yes. Yeah. So on TAP, it literally had to be this narrow. Ours is like this. And ours is official Travel Pro carry-on.
Yeah. United States missed the memo on that one because, oh my goodness, it's like, there's no way. There's no way.
Yes. Yes.
And then we looked at some of the luggage that some people had, or even in the stores, and it was like, oh, you can't fit anything in there.
He could fit 2 pairs of shoes.
Yeah, you can't fit anything in there. So be very aware of that.
Yes.
Very aware.
Now we're going to get to our horror story. If you are going to check bags, spend the extra money. And I haven't seen these in the States, but I've seen this in just, do they? Okay. But because I've definitely seen them just about every single airport that we've been through out of the States. Shrink wrap your bags.
Yes.
Put the cellophane stuff around your bags. Because so we check in to the airport at Cancun. We're early. We take the earlier flight. We're feeling good about ourselves. The person who was putting our bags onto the belt put zip ties on our zippers. I told him to keep them together so it could not be opened. I said, thank you. Now Rick is thinking maybe he marked our bags to go through. Because when we got to Puerto Vallarta, the zip ties were gone. Our GoPro was gone. The chargers to the watch was gone. Our headphones were gone. Our accessories to the GoPro was gone. And they stole his gum.
I had 2 packs of gum left that you can't get here. And I'm like, my gum. And I'm sure there's some other things we'll notice as we go along. But, those things we did notice, like, oh my God. I've never had anybody zip tie anything for me in any airport. And, leaving Portugal or anywhere else,
no,
we never had that. So that's what gave me, well, maybe he's marking them by putting zip ties in them because, and not necessarily, it wasn't necessarily him, but it just struck me weird,
I don't
the
know.
zip ties were definitely gone when we got
there. So I blasted Aero Mexico on Twitter, and they said, WhatsApp us? And they gave a number. WhatsApp says the number's invalid. So then I Facebooked them and called them out, and they said, please email us and let us know, and how much to replace it. So we will keep you posted. But our GoPro is like, this is how we create content, and it's gone. And any footage that we had on there is gone. And so you cannot replace that. I'm just I was so angry this morning. So I was already angry because we had already noticed the first day some of the stuff was gone. And I thought it was just the little thing. I was like, okay, so they didn't want to get in trouble, so they just took the little things, the chargers, the headsets, and stuff like that. But the GoPro, our GoPro, are you freaking kidding me right now? Aero Mexico? I'm calling them out. They better make it right. So take pictures of the content of your luggage. That way, if something happens, there is no question about what you had. They better not ask us for a receipt for something we bought 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
All they need to know is it's gone and how much it costs to replace it today. Because we ain't trying to find no used one on, some bid site or something like that. It's not, we are not about that life. So take pictures of the contents, and see, this is how paranoid I am. I'll put a newspaper with the date next to the luggage so that they cannot say, when was this taken? Now there's metadata in your pictures. Yes, but do they know that? I don't know. I don't know. I know how to get at it. I don't know how to send it. I just know our stuff is gone. And we don't want you to experience the same thing. I've never, ever, ever had anything taken out of our luggage. And we didn't have the TSA locks, but it didn't matter if we did because they all have the keys.
They all have the keys. Those locks are kind of meaningless.
Those locks are for other passengers not to steal. You're right. It's not for the people who check your luggage because they have the keys. So, and then the last one we have is time management. And we've kind of talked about this. So understand that travel days are hard. And, I get calls from people, and I've talked to folks. They're like, okay, we're going to do an exploratory trip to Portugal to see if we want to move there. And we're going to be there for 7 days. And we're going to check out the Algarve, Porto, Lisbon, and Coimbra.
God bless you if you do that.
If you're 25, okay. But yes, Portugal is a physically small country. If you're renting a car, it might be doable. But between the train and, from the Algarve to Porto, that's far. Even the train from Lisbon to Porto was going to be like 9 hours. So then you're talking about a flight, and that flight was out of control. I guess Porto's airport is too small, doesn't have the demand. It was going to cost us about half of what it cost us to fly from Lisbon to Cancun, just to fly to Porto. So, which is why we didn't check out Porto. But yeah, understand that travel days are so hard, and that if you're planning a vacation, if you're planning an exploratory trip, take the travel days out of the equation. And for the return, especially if you're slow travelers like we are, the day before you travel, take that out of the equation too, because you have to repack all your crap. And we have not. I bought this patch. I've got one more, and you guys know I bought this one. So I bought one more that I'm going to sew on, and a shot glass for one of our babies, and that's it. Yet it seems like we have more crap. Well, we don't now because a bunch of it was stolen. But other than that, as far as our clothing goes, it just seems to expand. I don't know.
It's crazy.
I don't know. But just the whole notion of packing, making sure you're not forgetting things. There were charging cords and stuff like that behind the bed that were charging our phones that almost got left. Things like that. You just want to take your time and not be stressed out. And so the day before travel for us, if you're slow traveling and you've got a lot of stuff that you've unpacked, we were in a place for a month. We're going to be in this place for basically a month. So it's real easy to make yourself at home in 30 days, and stuff just gets scattered everywhere. So the day before travel and that travel day, nothing's planned except for getting ready to leave or getting ready to go to our next spot. So that's what we have for you guys.
Yeah.
And we're going to go and see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let us know, what did we miss? What did we forget? If you're watching in the future, hey, hit like, hit subscribe. Let us know where you're logging in from, and let us know what we forgot. Because we only know what we know. Auntie Trey, we know. We just thought that maybe Tap was like doing a solid, I don't know. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Nika. Yes, yes, yes. And yeah, overweight luggage. I was not about to pay. We paid that fee the first time we went to Europe.
Yeah.
And we were there for like 3.5 weeks. It was about $250 for about 6 pounds overweight.
Yeah. They charge you.
It would have been cheaper just to have another luggage for $50, $75.
Actually, we did that with one of them, didn't we?
No, we shipped stuff home.
No, not on that trip. On this trip, because we just went on and
yeah, we shifted stuff
Bought
around, and we
carry-on.
bought. We took our carry-on and made it checked, which we carried it on, it would not have our stuff would have not gotten stolen, because we had always planned to keep our equipment with us. But when the carry-ons are only allowed to be this wide,
and it's hard because we are coming alive. We're doing different things, and trying to. I know we have to make adjustments as far as equipment. I mean, we have our laptops and stuff. We can carry that on us, but then you need lights, then you need different things, and we're trying to condense everything even further down. And the little GoPro, that was a perfect camera to have, but
and they probably just slipped it right in their pocket, and that's probably why they didn't try to take this big old thing, right?
yeah.
So,
And even that's too big, because when we bought this microphone, we bought it in Colorado
yes.
just for the podcast.
Yes, yes. So this is something good. Professor LCH says foreign airports sometimes require you to carry your luggage, your carry-on luggage, up and down stairs. So be aware of that. As a matter of fact, at least half of the flights we have taken since we've come back, even one of the flights in Portugal seems, or maybe the flight in Portugal, we had to take a little shuttle bus to the airplane out there on the tarmac, and then carry
You
our
had to carry your
stuff
stuff up, yes.
up the stairs. So the ramps, every airplane doesn't get to pull up to the gate and have the ramps to let you on. So be aware of that. I have two international carry-ons. One is a backpack and expandable, and the other is a roller. My big bags are American carry-ons. When I travel this year, I'm taking my expandable backpack.
Yes.
That right there. So we've got these very cool backpacks that the inside is like a little
Like a closet.
little closet. And my goal was to have that and a carry-on only. All my tech.
That was her goal.
My tech guy. My tech guy had to have every single gadget.
I didn't get to bring half the things I wanted to. Because you guilted me.
Every single gadget.
She guilted me. I had a couple pair of tennis shoes that I needed to bring.
Because he's got to be matchy.
But I didn't. I didn't. I left them.
Yes, we left those in LA though.
And even with your backpack, be careful, because
they will weigh.
They might weigh that too.
Yes.
And you don't want that to be overweight, because we actually saw someone get stopped, hand over their backpack so they could weigh it.
Yes. And when we were in Portugal, getting to the last check-in, right before the gate, they had two guys there, a black guy and another guy. And the other guy was being very by the book, and he was really making everyone weigh their stuff. So when the black guy started moving down the line to check the next people, I raised my hand. I was like, brother. Because he was just like,
not that the brother thing was going to work anyway. But
I knew that he was not being as
he
stringent.
wasn't
I
being
was
as
watching.
strict. Yeah.
And so he looked at our boarding pass, looked at our backpack, and said, go right through. I was like, yes, because they were both about a pound overweight. They were about a pound overweight because the stuff that was in our luggage to make that overweight went into our backpacks. They
Yeah.
stole his gum.
So beware of that. Beware of the backpacks too. Be careful.
And y'all, I will keep you guys updated between IG and Facebook. We now have IG, our Black Utopia, on Instagram. I'm gonna try and get into posting that. And see, the thing about it is, Barbara, the TSA locks, they have numbers on them. So it's like I think 1 through 6, and it says on the luggage, this is TSA lock number 1, TSA lock number 2, TSA lock number 3. So if it's in the States, at least I know they've got the keys. They've got the keys. Right? I literally realized the GoPro was gone this morning.
Yeah. And luckily, we use our phones. We've been using our phones for a lot of the footage and stuff like that. And I hadn't used the GoPro since we were in Portugal.
Yeah.
And so I didn't pay attention to it. I know I packed everything, and we were going out yesterday to the beach, and she wanted to take one of the extenders, one of the rods, and I wanted to take my GoPro rod, but I didn't because I couldn't find the attachment for the phone, and we were kind of trying to get out of here, so I didn't. I said
And
I'll look when I
why
get
couldn't you
back
find the attachment? Because it's
because it
gone.
was gone, and that's what I noticed this morning when I got up. And I said, "Well, let me go and check, so in case we go somewhere else, I have that attachment ready and connected to the rod."
2 whole bags of
Accessories
accessories and connectors and all of that stuff. They just
gone.
gone. Just gone. Good to know. Good to know. See? And this is our first time and I feel violated. Now it's like, what else did they go through?
Yeah.
What did
So,
they touch?
and that even uh, to shore up what I was trying to explain before. I don't know if I did on the video or if we did on the live about your medications and stuff
Ah,
like that. So you always want to be careful with your medications and not put them in a check bag. Make sure you keep them with you in your backpack or your carry on that you're really going to carry on to the plane with you. Because if it would have been my medications and somebody thinking that, hey, they got drugs in here, it's not any kind of drugs that you can get high off of, but still, you know, it'd have been, I'd be trying to find prescriptions to have them refilled.
not only that, because we are going through the immigration process in 2 countries, we have a lot of legal paperwork with us.
Yes.
We put it from Portugal to Cancun, we put it in a suitcase. Something told me not to do that this time. And I put it in my backpack, which made my backpack overweight, but I don't care. And I thank God. So, marriage license, just stuff that would have been lovely for a person trying to steal an identity, right? All the stuff that we're going to need, both for Mexico and for Portugal, was in there. And so I'm glad that I kept that with me. And yes, Nubia Net, we do have travel insurance. So we're with Safety Wing. There's a link in the description. And so we're going to be filing a claim with them. I've already started the email to Aero Mexico with how much this stuff is going to cost in pesos because we want to replace it here. We don't want to have to wait till we get back to the States. And guess what? It's more expensive to replace electronics here in Mexico, but
Yeah,
that's not our
they're more
problem.
expensive here.
And they better not talk about offering us some kind of credit on Aero Mexico.
Nah. Can't
Why
film
would
nothing with credit.
why would we fly them again? So now we have a credit for $1,000, whatever. It doesn't matter, and you will steal some more of our stuff. No, thank you. No, thank you. We're gonna do things differently coming back. We're gonna put the smallest carry-on. We're gonna put the electronics in that since we have less of them now. We're gonna put the electronics in the smallest carry-on, and the bigger carry-on can be the check bag with all of his shoes and whatnot.
And things like I said, we have to relook at things, but you want to be careful about how much electronics you carry with you. Like if you're carrying bigger cameras and the stuff like, you got to be careful of that, because when you cross different borders, they can take that. They can confiscate your cameras. Some countries won't even they don't even want you to have a drone. They will take it right then and there. So you have to be careful of different things that you pack. And because we have 35 millimeter cameras and stuff at home, which I didn't bring on this because the weight. And, we just figured, hey, we can use our phone. We got the GoPro and stuff like that, which are smaller. And now we even have to go even smaller and less weight. So.
Yeah, taking the bus to Mexico. Do, yeah, both when we took a cruise or we haven't gone on a bus, but definitely train. They never weigh the stuff. If they do, I don't know about it. So so that's you won't have to worry about that, but it does, especially taking a cruise. It leaves your hands. You just put it in this big pile, and then somehow it magically appears before your door.
In front of your door. Yeah, yeah.
So be careful.
I mean, there's no foolproof unless you have it on your person.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh, there's lots of comments. Okay, let me go quickly here. Phyllis Bush, I put electronics on carry-ons. Yeah, yeah, learned our lesson. I mean, that was the plan. That
Mhm.
was definitely the plan. It's just that some carry-on they just don't allow,
Yeah.
as big. Really, Jorge? I could have sworn, or maybe I'm thinking round trip. It was going to eat up too much of the day, or maybe I didn't see the express train. That could be. That could be. My sister made it. Hey, or one of my sisters, I should say. What's up? I'm glad you made it. Yay. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you.
thank you. We drove from Lisbon to Porto. It was easy. The roads were in pristine condition and we barely saw other cars. Really? How about those narrow roads? Now the highways are the highways, right?
Yeah,
They're
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 fine.
like you would expect everywhere. But when you get into the older parts of some of these cities and towns with these narrow, like in Coimbra, the upper part in the old part of Coimbra, and the turns are not like 90 degrees. There, some of them are like this, and so you've got to go like that and then
Yeah,
around.
you got to be skilled.
And there's cars parked on one side and people walking on the other side. And they don't slow down. They don't slow down. They do not slow down. My husband is retired army and traveled a lot. The airline stole a lot. See, I thought that wouldn't work in the US because of TSA. Yeah, I wonder.
Usually, I think that's what the problem would be in the United States is through TSA, because if they wanted to open it, then
See, professional travelers on YouTube say to keep your equipment with you. Obviously, we're not professional yet, Nubia. But we gonna get there. We are gonna get there. I use zip ties and not a lock, but I don't have anything valuable. You can get TSA locks if you have to put something. Yeah, have a bunch of TSA locks that I thought were in my backpack. They're in the closet in Denver. That's where they're at. That's where they're at. And maybe the folks here in Mexico may not have had locks or the keys. Maybe it's just in America where they would have the lock. One bag, a backpack never leaves my side, have 2 weeks of life and a portable office. I've mastered the Trek life. All right, Butterfly Princess had a baby. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, Grandma.
Congratulations.
Yes. 3 hours and cost some 30. Okay, so I might have been thinking about round trip. It was going to take us a good portion of the day. So I apologize for that. Thank you guys. Um, and now butterflies in Spanish. Yes. Also, uh, when you're traveling to all countries of the world, try to arrive early. Sonreír. I'm not sure what reír means. Spanish is not that good, but it reminds me of king and queen. And I love to be called queen. In Europe, they can weigh everything. Yeah, they do. They do. I thought they were going to make the man get on the scale with his backpack. I mean, it was serious, and I was glad. Like, don't look at our backpacks. Don't look at our backpacks. And she said, "Well, can I see your backpacks?" And I just kind of went like this. She says, "Oh, okay, you guys are fine." I'm like, if you only knew how heavy this thing is. And I was trying to stand up straight so that it didn't, so I wasn't doing one of these. The cheap U.S. airlines don't allow you to check electronics. Huh. Well, we don't do Spirit, and Aeromexico is about to go into the Spirit category. So when you say cheap airlines, I'm not sure which ones you mean, but yes, definitely send good vibes.
Hmm.
We are gonna. Hey, Sid, thank you. Haven't seen you in a while.
Is that Mr. Wilson?
Yes, it is from Denver. Good to see you. Professor, so glad I can kind of understand what you're saying. But if like, oh yeah, my Spanish is rusty. Um, Wait, yes, 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 yes. If you use a gun lock, it fits through the zippers and is long and flexible enough. China took my chargers. See?
I
See? Many years
got
ago.
gun locks, but
Do you?
yeah, they are like almost like the bike locks, the chain,
Okay.
not the chain, but the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're thinner and stuff like that. I have because when you purchase a firearm, you get them.
We're going to look
Never
here.
thought about a gun lock.
Yes. Thank you,
The
Butterfly.
only thing about gun locks is if you're traveling in America, of course, TSA is going to see a gun lock on it, and they don't have the keys to get in them, so they're going to cut it.
Yeah.
Other foreign countries, I'm not sure. I never thought about using a gun lock, but it might be a good idea to have.
So Kelly Stamps, I think that's her name. She's a little cutie who's a YouTuber, and she was talking about some, I don't know, some designer bag that she had wanted and purchased, and it was stolen out of her luggage. And so I know name brand things and things like that, but yes, the cash. And even we had some extra euro. I kept those with me as well because what are they doing? What are they doing? No idea. All right, we are going to wrap this up, folks. We so appreciate you guys. Also, electronics like chargers will stop you in security. I was pulled into the back room because I had batteries and chargers in my suitcase.
Now I have those, and I haven't been bothered at all. It depends on the size batteries, I guess.
Yeah, they're little ones like this, the batteries and the chargers and stuff like that. But you did get in New York. They did pull you to the side. I don't know what that
That
was
wasn't for
about.
that. You know what that was?
Oh, you're
My crucifix is metal.
okay.
And I didn't realize that every time I walked through, it would set the alarm off. She kept saying, well, it's very sensitive, but I didn't think of this. And by the time I went through the last time, I realized it, but he was already like cavity searching me and everything like that. Yeah, it was, it was weird. I'm sure, a lot of other people have went through it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, they make, let's see, what do we got going? They can make you pay extra in customs for electronics when traveling
Yeah.
internationally. Yes. And that was never an issue, maybe because we checked it, but But we have heard about, like, if you have, we had two computers, two iPads, two iPhones, plus all the rest of that stuff. Obviously
Yeah.
used. Like, none of our stuff is in pristine condition, externally anyway. I do not trust cruises. Right? I mean,
I could tell you some things about cruises that I found out from a guy I met for Irish journey. One of the things,
what?
Attila. Oh,
What did he say?
I don't want to say it right now,
Oh, is
but
it?
yeah, I'll explain it and see if we want to even do something about. Yeah, it's weird because he worked for a law firm that represented the cruise lines, and he said he'd never ever take a cruise in his life after
After.
talking to the cruise line. Yeah, it was bad. And I like cruise because he said, "Do you like cruises?" I said, "Yeah, I love cruises." But after I talked to him, I was like, I ain't taking no more cruises.
Yes, international SIM cards, something you should think about when you're traveling. So we have Google Fi, and if you use Google Fi continuously for too many months, they're gonna cut your butt off. So while we were in Portugal, we had a Portuguese SIM. I haven't gotten a SIM for Mexico, because Mexico is kind of included
Yeah, they kind of
in
included.
North America. So I've been kind of lazy. But we did have a SIM card, and still do, for Portugal. And hopefully, I'm putting money on it so that I can hopefully keep that phone number. So when we get back, I'll still have the same phone number. You should have seen the Italian drivers. We're going to do a video about the driving and these narrow streets. So Phyllis says, my flight to Puerto Vallarta last October was so stressful, I'll pay any amount not to fly on Aeromexico again.
Wow.
This was my first trip to Mexico. Thank goodness my daughter was with me and speaks Spanish. Rashida will not take Aeromexico either, even though she's a Delta person, is what I heard. And I could be wrong, but I think I remember hearing that. And I was like, but they're part of that whole, there's like the Star Alliance system and then that other one. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they're either the Star Alliance or the other one, whatever. I was like, how bad could it be? We know now.
You
Yep.
learn as you
Oh,
go.
Chanel bag. See, we're watching the same people. We're watching the same people. That happened to me in China and on the way to Thailand. So what, did you get stuff stolen, Jan? I'm just like, oh, bad stuff happens on cruises. Okay. American airports will cut the gun lock. I thought so. They have a right to open all boarded luggages. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In America, we can use our TSA locks, and that just helps us with um, other people not walking off with our luggage, I
Yeah,
suppose.
I've had something stolen from an American airport before.
Sounds like there's a documentary on what happens on cruise ships. So I got T-Mobile specifically to make travel easier. Yeah, and Google Fi is on the T-Mobile network. So if you don't know, there is a link in the description if you want to get on Google Fi. We like it because when you arrive in a country, like 128 different countries, without extra charges, you have service. And so if you need to call an Uber or you need to do whatever you need to do, text your Airbnb person, maybe even the hotel for late check-in or whatever, you have service as soon as you land, in most of the countries that you might want to go. And so we got that information from Picky Girl Travels the World, Adelia Aborshade. It is on her checklist, her move abroad or travel checklist. I think it's a move abroad checklist. Yes. So if you don't have that, it's Adelia Aborshade. Picky Girl Travels the World. That checklist is what we have been working from for the past 9 months to 10 months. So we're a community here. I believe in sharing the knowledge and not hoarding it. Yep. Took her brand new battery. See, I guess we were being naive. Does anyone have recommended airlines to fly to Mexico? Let us know if you have any more tips about travel days, how to make travel days less stressful. Let us know. We have been here for an hour and a half, and about 60 to 70 of you have been watching with us. um, coming and going. And so we love you guys. We love you guys. We thank you so much. We thank you so much. We have a ready to retire toolkit. If you would like to join us on this journey and retire sooner than later, become financially independent, we thought living within your means meant
Paying your bills on time.
paying your bills on time. That means we always had credit card balances, right? Not that we paid the minimum, but we didn't pay too much over the minimum either. And kept that balance somewhere where it wasn't affecting our credit too poorly. So our credit scores were good, right?
Yeah.
All the bills were paid on time.
We stayed on the hamster wheel.
We stayed on the hamster wheel, and our savings goals were never met because we would save what was left over. Now we pay ourselves first. So whatever our savings goals are, that money comes off the top. It automatic when we were working for somebody else, that money automatically went into a different account. Automatically. We had money automatically going into our brokerages accounts. Of course, automatically going into the 401ks that we had, etc. So that we, it's just that's just money we just don't have. We were investing in future us. And so I'm so glad at least the 401k stuff we never faltered on. So that was good.
Yes.
But we thought we could save our way to retirement. And we had all of this money in a savings account, basically losing value every day because inflation is what it is. And so we took that huge chunk of money out of our savings account and invested it into index funds, total market index funds. And it's been sitting there. And it grew a lot. And it's dipped a lot too. But we're not touching it, and we're continuing with the plan. We still have the money going into those accounts, and we're still going ahead and automatically having it purchase the shares it can purchase. And it's purchasing more shares because the market is still on sale. Well, most of it.
Yeah.
Most of it. Some of our individual stocks are like rocking and rolling.
You have to diversify.
Yes, we're not financial advisors, so we're not going to tell you what we're personally invested in. But total market index fund, if you do not need that money in the short term, the market tends to go up. Historically, that's been the case. And so thank God we did that, because that was one of the things that we had to do to get from negative 22,000 to over 800,000. So please download the toolkit. That it's in the description as well. And it comes with a few emails that we kind of walk you through each step on how we did it and how we changed our thought process. I think Paula Pant said it best. You can afford anything, just not everything. So we love you guys. We thank you so much. And I don't think we have any more questions. Let me see. Supporting I wanted to support a local airline, but I'll just tip more for everything and every service in Mexico. Yeah. The Airbnb that we're renting from right now is locally owned. The dad checked us in, right? It's not corporately owned. So we know this money is going into the hands of some local folks. And so for that, we're trying to walk the walk. Please do the video about what you learned about cruises.
I will have to get to my source.
Okay. He's a fellow Our Rich Journey person we met at the meetup. And now I consider a friend.
Yeah.
And so, it'll probably be an edited video, right? So we can just bring you the facts. Thank you, Auntie Trey. We love you. We love you guys. Seriously. We knew that we would be in a better mood after talking with y'all.
Yeah, you guys just made it a whole lot better.
You really do. You cheer us up. And I'm getting teary again. When you need to get rid of things in your bags, remember your pockets, right? I took my external battery and my umbrella out, and I saw them weighing the personal bag, right? Seriously. So we're going to leave you with this, why we prefer Portugal over Mexico. We're going to tell you about our little experience going to the grocery store yesterday. Well, it's the Shajar, okay, I cannot pronounce it. It's Chedraui, Selecto, and Shajari, I think. Um, and the one that's in Cancun is a lot smaller, or in the tourist area of Cancun is a lot smaller than the one that's in the local area here in Puerto Vallarta. This one had TVs, electronics, and everything else. And so apparently it's pretty standard in Latin America outside of the tourist areas to take the backpacks that you bring with you and you have to check them in. My tutor told me that's standard. Okay. So we were not picked out of the crowd for that. But we had just come from meeting with our immigration lady, and so we had all of our paperwork and our passports and our FMM, document and all of that stuff with us. And so I'm like, I'm not leaving this stuff with God knows who, because by that time we already knew some of the stuff had been stolen out of our luggage. So we start taking out our passports and everything else. And he comes over and he brings over a younger guy. He says, please explain to them why they have to check in their bags. I'm not sure that she understood me. And they understood me. And he said that in Spanish. And I looked at him and I said, entiendo. I understand. I just have fear about speaking because my grammar sucks. I have all the words, but my grammar sucks. So I understand you. And he looked at me and was like, yeah. So the younger person spoke English and he was explaining. I said, I understand, but we have all of our important documents and we're not leaving them. So when he saw us pulling out our passports and everything and our wallets and all of that, he said, never mind, never mind, never mind. And he put some kind of tag around and saying that they had been checked and okay to go in. So we go into the grocery store, stocking up our fridge, and we've got our basket, the big basket, and we're filling it up. We got new headphones because we've got these interviews coming up, right? And we don't want to have that feedback like we did with the Delia. So we got headphones. I couldn't find an Apple Watch charger, so whatever with that. And then we started getting food. And then I started noticing this little squat man following us around. Well, I just started noticing everywhere we went. And he and I would split up, and he was looking at the coffee, and I was trying to find my peanut butter. And then I go drop it and then I go look at something else. And I turn, and there's this guy. And so finally, when Rick caught up with me, I'm like, see that guy right there? I think he's following us. So we go down the aisle and we start looking for our probably frijoles because I love frijoles, and we're looking for that and this and that and the other, and there he is again. You want to take it from there, Rick? What'd you do?
So I approached him. I went right up to him and I wasn't smiling. I had a smile on my face, but my eyes were saying something different. Probably my posture was saying something different. So I walked right up on him and looked he wasn't as tall as I was, but we went eye to eye and I said, is there a problem? Can I help you find something? Are you looking for something in particular? I said, because you seem to be following, and he was speaking to me in Spanish, like, oh, no, 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 no. I said, you seem to be following me around, and I really don't like that. So if you need something or if you need something from me, please let me know. And he disappeared.
We did not see him
Didn't see him
again. So
anymore.
he was following us around.
Yeah, yeah.
That reminds me of the United States of America. I do not like to be, I don't like to be assumed a suspect. And we shouldn't have to dress a certain way. Oh, look at that pretty bird. We shouldn't have to dress a certain way or do anything. And then, so I've got my glasses on for midterm. You see all the medicine in them glasses? I had my other glasses on and I'm trying to read labels that are in Spanish, and I can barely read it. And I felt uncomfortable going in my bag to take out these glasses to put on to read. And I'm like, this is why I'm trying to leave America. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to be followed around. I don't think it was necessarily a black thing. I think it was because we still had our backpacks with us. But I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. No. I don't want it. And so, if you ask me today, we prefer Portugal. One of the reasons we prefer Portugal is because when we're in Portugal, people come up to us and start speaking Portuguese.
There's a guy here that was speaking. Was it at the airport?
He was at the airport. He said Spanish,
Oh,
Portuguese, English,
Portuguese.
and I said obrigado. And he looked at me. He was like, I was like, yeah, we know 5 words in Portuguese. But yeah, they come up to us and they speak Portuguese. When we walk into the store, they assume we're Portuguese. Here, they speak English, and I keep telling them, I need to practice my Spanish. Please speak Spanish. Um, so, we're going to let you guys go. Kenya, thank you for joining us. It's never too late. It is never too late, and you can go ahead and watch some of it in the replay. We do meetups. We
Yes,
do
we do
meetups.
meetups.
Reach out to us on DM us on IG. Our email address is in the description, or at least on YouTube, and we answer every single email. We look at every single email because we still only have 1,000 plus subscribers. So, and when the community is this small, we talk to you. We can talk to you directly, and we're going to do that as long as we possibly can. So. I don't care. I don't care. She said, because you had the backpack, he probably felt like he had to follow you. I don't,
Oh,
right? Like,
yeah,
I assume that's but it just reminds me of the States.
yeah, and it's he may have been doing his job or whatever, but I was doing my job too. And that's if you have a problem with me, or with me or my wife or whoever I'm with, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something respectable, but like I said, he
But
can see in my
you
eyes.
had that tone in your voice, though.
Well, yeah, because I want him to know, dude, I don't appreciate. I'm not following you around. And it's like we got a basket full of stuff. What the hell we stealing? If that's your thoughts, and it may not have been. It may not have been,
It
but
was.
and when I said what I said, he disappeared.
So thank you, y'all. We will see you next week. We've got some more great videos coming to you about our time in Portugal. We're not going to spoil it, but they're already edited and in the queue, and more coming up. Otherwise, we will see y'all next Sunday. Auntie Trey said, you did your job, husband. You did your job. See ya.
Thank you.